Come on, douche. It's not that bad. I don't think it's a little like my face looks a bit weird in the vertical one. The horizontal one looks a little better, but I think I will replace it with one um at some point. I didn't make it, but anyway. Sorry it's so cringe to you. Look, it's fine, whatever. I think it's good enough. Hey Vlad, how you doing? Hey Dush, what's up guys? So, as you can see in the title perhaps, today is launch day. So, I am confident I will get everything finished today and be able to launch today. I haven't launched pre-stream. I will launch post-stream. But today is the day. So I recorded a video ad. I made a static ad as well. I need to just do a little bit of testing. I'll start somewhere. Like I said, I didn't make it. Look, it's good. For what it is, it's good. Anyway, the streaming shit is not my priority. So, and you can tell. But alas. Anyway, this morning. Yeah, I wanted to do this morning. Didn't happen. What can you do? Had more shit to do than I thought. So I finished the ad. I have 2 ads actually. I need to just do some testing. Let me read what's on my to-do list. So I have to finalize the sales script, which we don't have to do before we launch. So that's fine. Write and build the landing pages. Those are fine. I just need to test to make sure everything works. I have to connect my forms and everything to my backend. And I have to test if bot protection is working. Then I have to double check my onboarding form is fine, which again, I don't have to do pre-launch. I have to set up my agreement letters, which I probably should prepare those, but again, don't have to do that pre-launch. I have to set up my calendar. That's something that I definitely have to do. And that's it. So all I have to do essentially right now before we launch is double check that my site is working and that all of my forms and the bot protection and stuff is working and I'm getting all the information. And then configure my calendar so I have enough space to take on calls. And that's it. So almost there. Very close. And then I'm just gonna spend the rest of the days probably writing different ads for testing. That's about it. How confident are you in percentage? I have severe doubt in myself because I'm just a doubtful person. I act confident on the outside, but inside I am constantly under like the weight of the world. It feels like I'm being crushed, compressed inside. But if I were to look at it from like an objective point of view, I think I probably have like an 80% chance it works out. Especially if I just keep working on it, keep trying different angles, maybe trying different niches as well. I think it'll work out. I think I have enough money to blow through that I should be able to make at least one sale before I run out. And that sale should make up for the rest of it. It'd be stressful, obviously. Like, it'd be easiest if I just got a really good return on ad spend. Because then I could actually focus a little bit and spend some more money on the ads, get better processes in place for delivering the service and stuff like that. Perhaps start hiring people. So ideally, it would do better than just making up for itself. But the absolute minimum we need to do is break even. So I have I'm planning on investing probably about $2,000 to $3,000. So if I can't get at least one client off of that, that would be pretty unfortunate. So we'll see. We shall see. I'm gonna turn on the AC. I'm sweating. How's everybody else doing today, huh? What you all up to? So much stuff to constantly think about. This stuff really is never ending. It's like, it's so hard to relax at any point because you constantly feel like you're wasting your time. It's horrendous. It sucks a lot. Hopefully we just start getting some leads and getting on some sales calls so we can get data in and, you know, start testing stuff. That would be nice. Even if I don't make a sale in the next 2 days, I think I might still take a day off for Silk Song because I really want to do it. So I'll see. How was money models? Is it really applicable to people starting out? I think so, but I also realized that if I... You got to take it one step at a time. And he does mention that in the book too, but you really need to internalize that because I'm somebody who really likes to set up things that are supposedly meant to be perfect from the very beginning. Because I'm just that kind of person. Like, I would keep improving stuff over and over and over, and I wouldn't launch or take action because I constantly want to fix whatever I have. So you really want to make sure you don't do that. Because if I were to implement every single thing that I learned in that book immediately, it would be extremely overwhelming and I wouldn't know what to fix if it broke. So the main thing for me is I learned some of the stuff that was important for me to know. It rewired some of the thought patterns in my brain, and I'm also only focusing on doing one thing at a time. So for example, like the thing that I came up with was the attraction offer. So that's what I'm going to be doing. If it's not converting, I will try a different one. If it's not converting, I will try a different one. And then I will worry about the upsells later. And I will worry about downsells are something that is actually extremely valuable that I learned in that. I will be applying the downsells, like payment plan downsells and stuff. Those are really useful. Because it's essentially like, how can you still make a sale when money is a legitimate problem? And how you convince them to still want to buy from you without diminishing your authority and credibility. So that's quite useful. I still need to plan out like the downsell system I'm gonna follow, but whatever. Hey Ellebeck, what's up? What's the meaning of gay? Either homosexual or colorful, and then an outdated term for it I think is happy. Why are you asking? I'm not Google. I don't know if you got lost or something, but I am not Google. YouTube is owned by Google now, right? That's probably been a thing for a long time, and I'm just mentioning it like I don't know. I don't pay attention to stuff like this. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm back. I wanted to say something very badly. What did you want to say? I'm not gonna ban you. But I'm not gonna say whether or not I agree. You can make up your own mind. Actually, YouTube might moderate it if you say something horrible. Like, I think that if you say faggot, it's probably gonna moderate your comment. I don't know. YouTube moderates the weirdest shit sometimes. Like, I have zero moderation on. Like, they have a thing in the settings when you start stream, which is like, oh, what level of moderation do you want? I pick none. And yet people would try to send like very basic messages and they would still get censored for some damn reason. And I really don't understand why. And the weirdest part is that the message still goes through Streamlabs. I still see it in my OBS overlay, but I don't see it in chat. So it's quite odd. Don't know what's causing that, but maybe their moderation is just super shit. They're making it like this. They have a kids app, but yeah, they're trying to adapt the main one to be like it's for kids. It's strange. Don't know why they're doing that. Oh, it's better it stays with me. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. I can infer what you want to say. So I'll just keep it in my mind. I'll make up the full scenario, and I promise you it's gonna be much worse than what you would have said. But that makes it funnier for me. So it's all good. So is there anything here that we can actually do on stream? The calendar. I could probably do my calendar. I need to. I don't want to. The thing is about the calls is I would really rather not have like 1 hour calls set up because some people would be like, oh, 1 hour call. I don't want to do that. But then at the same time, if I say 30 minutes and then they can back to back, you know what I'm trying to say? They can like stack them up back to back. So if I put in like 30 minutes and then two people book in 30 minutes after one another, maybe there's some kind of settings in the calendar app which I can use, which are like, I need at least half an hour break between each call. Maybe then I could do it like that. And then set them for half-hour intervals, so in case I need to go over the time I can. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, lost track of time. You don't have to apologize. You've been here for 1 day and you're already apologizing like I'm your father or something and you're late for dinner. It's all good. Miss Australia. You can tell me in Discord I have... What? You can tell me in Discord I have Indian thought all the time? Like, what if a... is that some kind of like... Hold on. What if a billionaire bought a bunch of fertility clinics and mass-produced babies? Surely Indian is like autocorrect, right? It really fucked you. Yeah, okay. I was like, what happened? How did insane become Indian? I have insane thoughts all the time. Oh, a billionaire bought a bunch of fertility clinics and mass-produced babies. How would that work? Like, you mean those artificial fertility clinics? Like the ones where they grow babies in the lab? Is that what you're talking about? Hey, Prava. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Prava or Prabha, I don't know. If you try to, like, type it phonetically, I'll try better. Try harder. Try better? Does that make sense? I don't know. We already have 1 billion population here. Yeah. Too many people. Look up artificial womb project. Oh, I know about this. Yeah, it's disgusting. I also saw a thing that was like, they're making it so that you can make a baby from 2 sperm cells. I also think that that's disgusting and people need to stop playing God. Look, I'm not, like, I don't give a shit about people who are gay. They really don't bother me. But I really think that gay people, like a gay couple, should not be allowed to have children. It is definitely, like, I don't have statistics to back this up, but I can guarantee 100% it has extremely negative effects on the development of a baby to have 2 gay parents. I don't care if anybody disagrees with me because you'll never convince me otherwise. It's bad enough. I mean, you have statistics for people who grew up in like single parent households, and those are always horrible, especially the single mother households. The kids are like significantly more likely to become criminals, significantly more likely to end up in prison, and a bunch of other ones I can't remember. But it's bad. So I imagine you could probably collect similar kind of statistics for gay parents. Really don't think that it should be allowed. But I guess if you're comparing to like, would a gay couple be better than growing up in foster care? Well, that's more of like, that would be an argument that I'd be willing to have because I wouldn't know in that regard. I think bioaugmentation is cool. I'm talking like synthetic limb. Other people are playing God and can mess stuff up. I've looked up some very shady occult biology stuff. Yeah, it's horrible. I think that, look, I'm not religious, but I think that it's important for society to believe in God or a God because it makes them afraid to do shit like this because that's like godless behavior. These people that are making babies from 2 sperm cells are not religious. I can guarantee it. Do you live on any other platforms? Yes, I go live on Twitch as well. I also have a horizontal YouTube live in case you don't like the vertical one. I personally prefer the horizontal ones, but the vertical ones are the only ones that seem to get pushed by the algorithm, unfortunately. So I do both. I'm also on Instagram, but I don't go live there. Instagram, TikTok, I'm pretty much everywhere. Babies are good until they don't know how to speak and walk. Once they learn that, they become running devils. I hate it. I think that's a skill issue. Yeah, they can be a little bit demonic, but they're not trying to be. They're just trying to, learn how the world works and try to figure out all the controls. It's fine. They also need to test the limits of certain rules. They need to. All of it, when you realize that all of it is basically just exploring and trying to understand the world, it makes it a lot easier to handle. I said that's so American like handle. Because you realize that, like, for example, when they try to piss you off and test your patience and do certain things that they're not allowed, they're not doing it because they're evil or because they want to hurt you most of the time. They're doing it because they want to understand the limits of what they can and cannot do. And they want to understand how far they can push those limits without any consequences. You have to realize that human babies are a lot smarter than we think they are. They really are like just adults which lack knowledge. But they can think extremely well. It's just their thoughts, because of their limited experience in life, their thoughts are kind of stupid. But they're always trying to figure out what it is they can do. Like, they will manipulate you, they will lie to you, they will push boundaries. And they should, because that's how you learn. That's how you get experience. So you can't be mad at them. You just have to know how to handle it right. My brother poured milk on my phone. Why would he do that? How old's your brother? How old are you as well? You probably told me yesterday. I'm sorry if I don't remember. Dush, don't be weird, please. I don't know what you meant by that, but my brain immediately went to like a disgusting thought, and that just don't say stuff like that, bro. Raising a kid as like growing a plant other than parasites and predators. The only thing you need to do is tend to the soil in the spirit. If you keep your home in order, clean and disciplined. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'd say it's a little more complicated than that. You can't just let them kind of exist, but yeah. He's 2.5 and I'm 13. Oh, okay. What is it with like, I don't want you to be offended, but what is it with like, how come there's kids that watch this kind of shit? I just don't get it. Observer, who are you? I feel like I have seen your name before, but you're saying how are you as if you've never been here. I'm just a dude. Like, there's nothing special about me. I'm broke as fuck right now. I have no money. I'm trying to start my own business because I didn't like my job. And I got tired of just following the plan everybody else is kind of forced into following. So that's about it. Like, there's really nothing special about me. I'm just a guy. That's kind of why I decided to do these live streams, because I'm just a guy. Like, there's really nothing special about me. I'm 18. That's what I think about babies for now. I don't know how my opinions will grow, but surely they will. Yeah, probably. I'm not a huge fan of babies. Like, the idea of it seems scary and annoying. But I also look at the positives of it. Like, how cool would it be to raise a whole new generation of you, and you can try to avoid all of the mistakes that your parents made and teach them all the things that you wish you would have known earlier about the world. It just seems amazing. Don't you think? I think it seems wonderful. I really want to have loads of kids. Like, I'd love to have like 20 children. I think it'd be awesome if I had the resources to do that. I want to be a support and watch you achieve your goal. That's very sweet. I really appreciate that. And look, maybe one day, if I achieve my goal, maybe one day you'll remember all of this. Because, look, I imagine that this channel is probably not going to grow too big. It's probably going to cap out pretty soon, especially if I do reach the goal, because then I'll stop. So you could like bookmark the videos, and then when you're older, or I mean, honestly, you could probably even do it now. You could go back and go watch everything and just copy what I did and have your own business. Maybe be inspired to start your own. I don't know. It might be helpful. What were you doing at 18? Shit. What was I doing at 18? I was going to college. I was in my first year of college in business management. That's what I was doing. Wasn't too interesting. Oh yeah, and also, hey Victor, what's up? Sorry, Mr. Chat. My life wasn't that interesting at 18. I feel like I hit kind of like a slump around 18 to 21-ish. And by a slump, I don't mean like my life was shit. I was enjoying my life, but I really didn't socialize much ever since I left secondary school. And I never really socialized in secondary school either. But after I left and I went to college, I barely attended because in our first year, because of COVID, we were like not going into college. They made us do it online. So I really didn't talk to anybody. Then when I went into year 2, I started working part-time job as an accountant. So I didn't really go to college much, and I also worked the rest of the time that I had. And then after I finished that, I went into doing audit, and after I entered audit, I was doing like a full work week. I was also traveling about 2.5 hours a day in total to get to work and back. And on top of that, you also have to study for exams because I was doing chartered accountancy. So it's a full-time job plus like study for pretty difficult exams. So I had literally no social life from 18 until I left. I still actually don't. I still don't have a social life. This streaming thing has been the most I have talked to people in years. Genuinely. Like I have a couple of close friends, but we don't live in the same place. We live quite far away from each other now. As soon as I stopped going to secondary school and started going to college, we lived very far apart. So I just never really got to socialize from then on. I've barely talked to any people. Sometimes I worry, I'm like, am I losing my social skills because I don't get to practice at all? So yeah, really wasn't that interesting when I was younger, I'll tell you that. Not that it's that interesting now. Most people would think I'm a fucking lunatic right now. All I do is work and sleep and eat. That's about it. Sometimes work out too, which I should do more often. That's more of like a stress thing. Because I tell myself, I'm like, well, I really want to keep working. I don't want to go take a break to go do the gym, blah, 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 because I'm trying to get all of this shit in order. So, yeah, it's been years. It's been years. It's rough. I really miss it sometimes. I'm not super social. Like I'm good at making friends. I know how to socialize properly, but I'm more of an introvert. It's really draining for me to talk to a lot of people. I get super tired afterwards, but I really like it, and I really do miss having friends I can hang out with. It's been a long time. Victor, I'm good. Nice. Happy to hear. What have you been up to? Hey, thanks for the sub, Peruse. What's up? Bro, that ain't the spirit. I'm telling you, you need to make this like a connections platform. You have a charismatic leadership about you that makes people not mind, to be honest. I say take advantage. I mean, I try. Like, it's nice to talk to all the people on here. We get, experience with so many different personalities and people in so many different industries with different life experiences. It's very interesting. Your routine was hectic. Yeah, it was. How the fuck did you get a girlfriend then, except for looks and charisma? Thanks. Actually, funny enough, I met my girlfriend in school. I could tell you the story of how it happened if you're interested. So, okay, let me preface this by saying that the only thing that I really agree that people tell me about is that I have a good voice. And you don't really get like the full experience of it because I have to talk a little bit louder and higher pitched on stream. Since the mic doesn't pick up unless I'm very close to it. And I usually talk in a more deep voice and a little quieter. So, and I also have to be more excited on stream because, maybe one or two of the streams I was my usual self, but in general, like I have to be a little bit higher energy, so raise the pitch of my voice a little bit. But I used to get a lot of compliments on my voice from people, like even just outside when I would talk to strangers. It was always nice. It was like very nice to hear because as a guy, you probably know you don't get a lot of compliments. So to have something that people complimented me on a lot was very nice. I tell you this because what happened was we were in school in our final year of secondary school. So I was in, it was 12th grade, for anybody who understands it that way. And we went to a class, and it was a class where we were made to read from a book. I was really in a bad mood that day because I had went through like a breakup fairly recently, and I was going through some shit. So I was in a bad mood, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I never read in this class. I never talk. I'm just gonna like raise my hand and read today. So I raised my hand. Teacher was like, okay, she asked who wants to read, and I raised my hand, and I'm like, okay, I'll read. And I started reading. And then this was actually a day which made me feel really good as well. That teacher was the sexiest teacher in our school. So I was quite happy with this. But usually the way that it worked was that she'd pick somebody to read. They read for like 5 minutes, and then she'd tell somebody else, then somebody else, whatever. She made me read the whole class. Like I read for like 10 minutes. And then she asked me like, do I want to keep reading? She was like smiling about it. And I was like, sure, whatever. I read the entire class, the full 40 minutes. And because she just wanted to keep listening to me read, I guess. And that same day, my now girlfriend was sitting in the back of the class, and she told me much later, like a few months later, that she actually got a crush on me during that class because she really liked how I sounded. And she liked my voice. And then, oh no, so it wasn't in the last year of school. This was the year before we met. Yeah. She had a crush on me for like a good while. And then in 12th grade, close to the beginning of it, like a teacher of mine who we were in the same class for music, told me to like pass on a message or something to her. And I did. I went to math class and did it. And I talked to her, and I was like, hey, teacher told me to tell you this. She's like, okay. And she's like, oh, I don't have my maths book. Can I sit next to you? And I'm like, sure, whatever. And since then, she literally just kept following me around. And then we just got closer over time, and that's kind of how it happened. So she basically kidnapped me. What if you made the YouTube a place for other people to post things through you, like a surrogate poster of videos and content? How would that work? Can you give me more details? My boy's getting shy. I'm not getting shy. The LAN. Hey, what's up, the LAN? How you doing? Sixer, stop Hellebeck. Voice kink? No, I don't think it's a voice kink. Like I said, a lot of people compliment me on my voice. I think people just like it. Whatever. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to hear it. Like I said, you don't really get the full experience. I sound a little better in person when I'm lower energy and, you know, sleep properly and not so stressed. But yeah, that's the whole story of that. Funny enough, it's like, really never needed to try to get a girlfriend. Like, ever since I started dating, I don't think I've been single for more than like a couple months. They just kind of kept appearing. It's just, I'd break up with one, and another one would want to be with me, and then I break up with that. We break up in that relationship, and then another one would want to be with me. It's just, it's like, oh no, my steak is too juicy and lobster is too buttery. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm trying to brag, because it's just how my life was. I never really tried very hard. Funny enough, actually, when I was 16, 15, 16-ish, before I started dating, I was really hoping to actually stay a virgin until marriage. As funny as that sounds, but that's just because, like, that's just how I was kind of raised. So I did it. I really had no interest in sex. It wasn't that appealing to me. So I was like, you know what? I just want to find one woman and fall in love and get married, whatever. I was very, look, it's because I grew up with just my mom, since my father was not in my life. And I think that when I was younger, it made me like super soft. It took me a while to get out of the very like emotional state that I was kind of raised in. I was very emotional for the majority of my life. It took a while to get past that. Like, I make ambient tracks and looped videos and send them to you. Someone else makes music tracks, sends them to you. Other people make video game playthrough and send them to you. But then what? I would just post it to my YouTube. I don't really understand still what you mean. I don't think that would make a lot of sense if I just posted a bunch of random shit on YouTube. The algorithm would be completely messed up. Man, it's been so long already, 34 minutes. Maybe we should start getting into something. I need to fix my calendar, like I said, so I could open that. Where is it? Can I show everything here? I have some emails I should probably keep hidden. Gym, lunch, streaming, dinner, do not book. I mean, this is kind of already configured in a way that I want it. Might have to start waking up earlier though, so I can take some more calls. I'll see. Let me check out my cal.com calendar. See how it's configured and if I can set up some kind of thing that allows me to stretch out, like put distance between the calls. That would be ideal. Because right now I have them set up, I think, in like 45-minute intervals. Yeah, just post is not about the algorithms, it's about memories and exposure. I don't think people understand that theoretically these videos will be a time capsule. Oh yeah, that part of it is very awesome. I have that with my old YouTube videos. I go back and look at those sometimes, like every few months, and I really love them. Every time, like I have this channel where I used to post a lot of videos, and I had some people who were very loyal fans of mine. I actually even got like fan art made for me and given to me in person. It was really awesome. I still have that to this day. It lives in that drawer over there. And I just really love all of those memories that I made. Like some of the videos are very cringe. Some of them are still quite funny. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, that's something I would still say today. But it's nice. It's nice to be able to look back on that. Well, it would be interesting, I guess. Make some kind of like, but I would probably make another channel. We could just have some kind of like hangout channel where we can all post our hobbies and maybe talking to each other, make videos and stuff like that as if we're all friends, but from all across the world. That'd be an interesting idea for a channel. Kind of like just trying to have a conversation with a bunch of people through videos on one channel. That's an interesting idea. Wonder if you could turn that into some sort of narrative where you could make some kind of like storytelling thing where if you piece videos in a specific order, like you could hear entire conversations of people and you could put clues in the videos to connect them all. I think that would be quite cool. Be interesting for anybody who finds it and decides to explore. All right, let's see here. Availability is this. Yes. Bookings. So this is my booking. Limits. No. Availability. What do you think of gaming channels? I really love video games. I love gaming channels. Those are really mostly the only ones I watch on YouTube personally. I always wanted to have my own gaming channel. Like, that's always been a dream of mine. I was actually thinking that I really, really hope I make money in the next few days because I really want to take a day off and play Hollow Knight Silksong when it comes out this week. I've been waiting for that game for so long. I would love to play it. And I was thinking, if I do, what I might do is go back to my old channel and just do like a 12-hour stream of it. I think that'd be really fun. Maybe some of the people that watch me here would want to join in, have some fun, you know, take a break from all the business shit. Buffer time. There is buffer time. So maybe that's what I need. Buffer time after event. So I'd have a buffer time of like 30 minutes after an event. And then have my duration be 30 minutes. Something like that. Hey, Demonic, what's up? What's the name of your old channel? All of the stuff is privated. So you won't find anything. That's actually the main channel that I use for like all of my YouTube stuff. For like watching YouTube. Is there any reason I couldn't share it? Let me think about this. Do I want to share my channel right now? Is there anything that could be bad, like some kind of history or something? Not sure. I actually configured it recently to add a new profile picture and everything. I spent like 20 minutes just updating it in case I decide to use it. Yeah, can I share with it? Maybe. Ah. Okay, fine, I'll share it. It's the channel name is Devasy. It's Devascy. Like, use clips from people's videos and daisy chain them together, make a coherent message, like some guy, Fox type kind of stuff, or the perspective of two people playing or doing independent things. Yeah, kinda. So it'd be a bunch of videos that are uploaded out of order, and some of them would have their own storylines if pieced together properly. You hear what's the stream about? We're just kind of mostly discussing stuff. I have some stuff I need to fix because we're gonna be launching our ad campaign today. So I'm like looking at my calendar here. I'm not sure if I can show it because I don't want to like show people the link to my calendar and stuff in case they would start trying to like book in and fuck up my advertisement stuff. So I think I might not do that. Also, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe I should split this up into a new event. I should probably make a new calendar event for this. Yeah, probably. Should I? Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. So I'm just trying to set up my calendar. I use cal.com just in case you want to know. What time is it in your country? It is 3:48 p.m. right now. How do I make $1K in Africa? Really depends. How old are you? What skills do you have? What resources do you have access to? That's like very vague. I really can't give you a lot of help unless you give me a lot of detail. Don't worry. Look. Asking questions is a skill, as much as you might not believe it. Asking good questions is hard for a lot of people. You need to give a lot. The more detail you give, the more detail of an answer I can give back. Because like, if you just give me a vague thing, like, do you know how many possibilities there are that I could say? Like, hell, it could even be like, I could assume you're a millionaire, and if that was the case, you would just put it all in a bank account and you'd make it in like a couple months or something. So there's just not enough context. Give me some context, and I'll see maybe I can help. Uh, this is a bit of a long-winded name. Free client acquisition blueprint walkthrough. that's a bit of a mouthful. But that's the thing is I'm calling it like in the ads I said that I'll give them the blueprint for getting clients easily. But I guess when they click on it they would probably already know. Maybe I would just call it blueprint walkthrough. Hey Draken, what's up? How you doing? Call it meeting, yes. Duration 30 minutes, yes. Location. I do want to do teams. Personally, I prefer teams, but I wonder if that's going to throw some people off. Maybe I should give them the option to choose Teams or Google Meet. But I'll see. If it becomes an issue, then I'll deal with it when it happens. So availability is between 10 and 2 and then between 7 and 8 for people that are in like late time zones, which is not a lot of time. But that's really the only time I have available because of my streaming schedule. Can you make it in 2 days? I don't know. We're going to be launching today. In 2 days, I expect we'd be able to reach about 2,000 people, which out of 2,000 people and like $40 to $60, we might be able to get like 2 or 3 leads out of it. If the ad is good, maybe 5, and don't know how many of them will book a call. If I call every single one up immediately after they submit the form, Maybe in theory, I could get all of them to book a call, but probably I'm going to assume maybe 50% would book a call and 20% close rate. It'd be tough. It's like maybe I could close one person, but it'd be really tough. But I was kind of thinking of maybe I will just do the stream I wanted to do anyway. Just take the day off. Like, look, if I can't make it to my goal by the time I run out of money because I took one day off, then fuck it, that's life. It wasn't meant to happen then, as far as I'm concerned. So buffer time after event, 30 minutes. Minimum notice, 4 hours. Limit how far bookings can go in advance. Probably give it like maybe 6 days in advance. Hey Vishy, your eyes are darker. Did you not sleep? I've been sleeping very little and very poorly and been under a lot of stress recently. So yeah, I know my eyes look really dark. But it's also kind of because of the light. Like if I lift my head up, it doesn't look as bad. It's just kind of the way the light is hitting my eyes too. But yeah, no, I have been quite tired recently. Hey, most accurate. What's up? I'm all good. Not much. What about you? I didn't get an answer due to network outage. I said you need to give more details. Because I could give you a million answers if I don't know your specific situation. Like how many resources you have, what skills you have, how much time you have, how old you are, and stuff like that. Need a lot of context. Yeah, Vishy, that's exactly how I feel. Well, look, maybe in the next week we'll manage to make some money and some of the stress will disappear and be replaced with stress of actually delivering the service instead. There's 3 parts of a funnel, essentially, right, in a business. You have top of funnel, which is getting clients in. Middle of funnel, which I think is more like closing and stuff like that. I'm actually not sure. Usually I'm only aware of like the top and bottom. And bottom is delivery. So right now we're taking one at a time, which we're trying to solve. Top of funnel is our biggest problem. Hopefully the ads will solve that. Then we need to close. And hopefully I'll be good enough at closing to be able to get some clients. And once that happens, we have to worry about delivery, bottom of funnel. How do we systemize delivery so that it's easier? So is anti-homeless sparkle still not working? I don't know. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe it's been building up. All of them have just been kind of creating like some kind of conglomerate. And maybe it's just all going to poof and give a nice big anti-homeless explosion in the next week at some point. That's really what I hope will happen. Hey, Ezio, what's up? I've recently been pretty busy. I'm only checking the titles of your streams. Boy, good luck. Thank you. Yeah, launch day. Launch day. We launched today. I'll have probably some updates on the campaign progress tomorrow. Since I'm going to be targeting both like Ireland, UK, and America, there's going to be some results we'll get even while I'm sleeping. Don't know how much we'll get. It'd be awesome if people booked in. I also need to actually set up like a proper nurture system. Because the way that I was planning on running these ads is I would get people to opt in and then give them the opportunity to book a call. If they book a call, great, saves me the effort. If they don't book a call, within 24 hours, I want to put them on an email nurture system. So I have to write a bunch of email nurture emails, which I was planning on making like, so the way that my ad is pitched is I'm basically saying, hey, I'll give you this blueprint, which will give you reliable clients that show up on time, that are ready to buy your service, and that aren't a nightmare to work with. And I'll give it all away to you, or you could have us build it. That's basically the offer. So I intend to have them book in. If they don't, so they give us their contact details and then have the opportunity to book into the calendar. If they do book into the calendar, awesome. If they don't, then within 24 hours, I will start sending them pieces of this blueprint that I promised them, which is basically going to be as much help and value as I can possibly give them on how they could potentially get more clients to their business. That's the idea. Hope you win. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Electrical and electronic engineering. You're an engineer. Oh, cool. So why are you doing some kind of apprenticeship, or are you qualified, or how's that going? Are you in college? Because when you finish that, you could easily just start a business, learn some marketing, and then just out-market your competitors, because most trades people suck at marketing. So if you're good at marketing and you do a trade, You could make a lot of money, man. I'm telling you, trades, people really underestimate trades as a career. It's an awesome career because so many people don't want to do physical labor nowadays, that if you can do physical labor and you're good at marketing, you will just decimate all of your competition. They won't even see it coming. How do you discern whether you should automate a system rather than create a management position for the system/division pertinent? It really depends on what the thing is. It's kind of hard for me to imagine specifically what you're like relating to. I guess it, I mean, I would just evaluate how easy it is to set up a step-by-step process for getting the thing done and how expensive it would be to set up an automation versus hiring a person. But I can tell you almost every single time hiring a person will be more expensive. So in my opinion, if you can automate something and you think that it's simple enough, usually the way that I can explain this is if you can break down something in simple enough steps so that it makes sense, and like imagine, you know, that school exercise that you would do. I don't know if all of you did it, but what I did in school when I was like very young is we would do this shoe tying exercise where you'd have to write down and explain step by step how to tie your shoes. And as a kid, you'd be like, okay, yeah, well, you take the shoe and you put it on. But then your teacher would be like, okay, so how are you going to put it on? What foot are you going to put it on? Which shoe are you going to put on what foot? How are you going to tie your laces? You're going to take the one end and then put it through here and then this. And they would make you explain it in these ways. And that's a really good way to think about automating stuff, even if you don't have a lot of programming knowledge. If you can explain stuff in its fundamental steps like that, like basically something clicks this app. This app brings this data here. This data fucking makes graph here. If you can do that, and you can make it in a way that makes sense in these kind of simple instructions, like step-by-step actions, then I can guarantee you the thing can be automated. So at that point, it's like, do you want to do it yourself or do you want to hire people to do it for you? And you have to evaluate how much would it cost me to hire these people to do it for me, or how long would it take me to do myself? And then you can evaluate the costs versus the benefits. I do basic electronics and repairs as my trade. Well, like for all electronics, is it anything in particular? Like laptops, phones, whatever? Just start a business doing that. Like just say you'll drive out to people. Like this would be a good USP for you because a lot of people who have electronics breakdown, they have to go to a store, and a lot of people want to save time and they want to go do it fast, but they don't want to drive to a place. What you could do is you could say, hey, for like a premium price, I will drive to your house and repair your shit on the spot. You could charge a lot for a service like that, and some people would be very happy to pay for that. Good night, Vishy. Hope you have a good night. And I hope you're doing well in college. You should update me sometimes. Like, you just come in here sometimes and, you know, it's sad. I want to know more about how your life is going. You never text me on Discord. For context, I'm the executive producer of a game studio. The reason I ask is because I feel like my qualified staff have been spread thin due to an oversaturation of management positions. So you think there's too many managers? And you want to replace some of them? So there's too many managers and you don't have enough lower level. I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean like the actual workers who do the things instead. Is that the problem? Could you give a little bit more detail just so I like fully understand? It's always difficult like trying to adapt to all of these different industries. Laptops. Okay, well, then what I said applies. I think it'd be more useful and cheaper to set up resources for individual staff of the studio and community instead of having a manager for each department under the division manager. That's probably going beyond my expertise. I don't really understand how game studios function. So it'd be kind of hard for me to imagine. Like when I worked in audit, the managers would also do all of the work. Like, how does it work in game studios? Is it that the managers just tell the staff what to do and that's it? Like, the managers are not also game developers? Because I would imagine, like, I wouldn't want to hire a management position for somebody who cannot do the work of the average employee, personally. Because then how would they be capable of managing it effectively? I would never want somebody to manage something that they don't understand and can't do themselves. I think that that's a recipe for disaster. Hey, confused creature, what's up? Man, it's probably really stressful what you're doing. My friends want to start an export business. I've been assigned to like do all the research for the basic idea. I'm like trying to learn the basics. If you join a Discord and you text me individually, I could send you some resources. I did that in business management on how to set up like enterprise plans and do the accounting and the market research and stuff for them. If you'd like, that might help you out. Especially because if we lose a manager, we lose the experience and resources that manager brought with them. And the precedent changes with the new manager in the position. Yeah, hiring new managers always sucks. That's for sure. What's from join the Discord? Yeah, you should. You can go to my YouTube page. If you click on my face and go to my YouTube page, there's a link at the top of my YouTube page. You can join the Discord from there. I can't post the link in chat because people are always complaining that it doesn't work. But the link in my bio at the top of my YouTube page does work. I've been out of the States for 4 years in Vietnam. Hard to do business, or had to do business. Marketing is my Marketing is my bottleneck. No one knows I exist in the software dev industry. I had to give up and go back to get a normal job. Yeah, it's tough. Marketing is not super easy. Like I've been studying it for a long time at this point, and I mean I'm about to test my knowledge by running my own ad campaign. So we'll see how well that works. But yeah, like you need a lot of creativity for marketing. The most difficult thing at the start of running a business is always top of the funnel, like I was talking about earlier. It's getting people to know that you exist. What is it that you wanted to make? Saying software dev, like did you have any kind of idea for an app you wanted to do? Do you have an app ready? Because I'd imagine you do. If the issue was then that people didn't know you exist, like what did you spend all of your time doing? Just out of curiosity. You need to make a team for mechatronics. I would say AI is going to be the future of robotics, mechatronics, manufacturing is going to be boom. Yeah, not wrong. We're going to send contacts in the Discord and what channel? General chat is fine. Wherever, honestly, like just, you could do general. Resources related to export thing. He don't like anyone being in his Discord. No, this is not true. Most accurate is lying. My phone died, actually, and my old email was in there. Oh. What is that in reference to? Fintech had some pitches with some Eastern European clients. What is fintech? Financial technology. We were building a cold email marketing platform, but that fell through. Yeah, I imagine that would probably be tough because there's quite a lot of them already. Like, did you have any unique selling point in mind? Like, why would anybody choose your software over some of the ones that are already on the market? Like, why is it Revolut? Huh. How would that, so like a combination of cold email marketing and financial management? Or like a bank of some sort? Could you give some more details on that? Recovering my email at the moment. All right. So many software devs come to these. Always surprises me. Customization is the biggest thing. That's why I have no updates. Oh, okay. Fair enough. What is that word supposed to be? Not a bot. Scammer. For what? Who am I scamming? Tell me. I'd like to know, because I don't know. You have Steam game client? It's not for me to answer. I think it can be like a wrapper around a bank, or you could do insurance or investments. Well, the thing about software dev, the most important thing that I always want to ask people is, why would anybody choose you over the existing competitors? Like, why would I choose your app over somebody else's that already exists that does similar functions? You always have to have something that stands out. Otherwise, your software company will fail. When you're trying to compete with people who are already established in something that's similar to what you do, you need to have a significant amount of differentiation. You need to be able to make yourself stand out in some way and produce some kind of results that other companies are not. Otherwise, you're just going to sink. Because if you make a shittier version of what already exists, you're never going to make money. Where are you from? Originally from Lithuania, grew up in Ireland, now I live in Spain. Also learning Flutter for app development, Laravel for backend, and MariaDB for database. It's not easy to get resources. I really don't know anything about programming, so I don't understand. Like, I know what like backend and stuff is, but that's about as far as my programming knowledge goes. I don't know a lot. I'm mostly into marketing. Anyway, let me see if this calendar is working. So minimum notice is 4 hours. Limit bookings to 6 days. Let's see which time slots it allows me to take. Okay, yeah, I'm not a programmer. I don't know why there's so many programmers that are constantly brought here, but I am not a programmer. You know what? The minimum interval between events needs to be probably an hour. Well, that doesn't work. Is this after I book in? Because it says buffer time X amount of time after event. So if I book in at 10, hypothetically, it's not going to let me book in until 11, right? Even though it's 30 minutes. Is that how that works? Possibly. How come only 7 o'clock shows up on this now? What do I have going on here? 7 to 8 is free at half-hour intervals. So why is it not allowing me to select 7:30? I don't understand. Software is hard to sell. Like you said, why us and not what's off self? Have to position it as an investment. Yeah, but that's hard to do if there's nothing that makes your specific app special. I don't think that software is necessarily hard. It's just people make too much of the same thing and don't know how to market it effectively. Like I could tell you one company that I saw recently, which are doing it's a really good example of how you should look at software development. So you have a bunch of website builders, right? You have stuff like Wix, you have stuff like Webflow and Framer, Figma, stuff like that. And they all do in and around the same thing. I can't remember which one, if it was either Figma or Framer, sorry. Well, I know one of them is more for like wireframing, probably Framer. So the others do in and around the same thing. So there was this company recently called Perspective that I saw, and they make specifically a website builder for just landing pages that convert well. So that's a differentiation. They don't advertise as being web builders. They advertise as being conversion funnel builders, which get you more clients. So that's a completely different positioning from the other website builders. And it's actually essentially, in a way, they have removed features. They took website building, simplified it with just blocks, so you don't need to be experienced at web design. They have pre-made blocks that you could use, which are much easier. You just copy paste, drag them in, whatever it is you want, and change the text very easily. And then it just gets you more clients. They've got like qualification forms built in and everything else. So, and they're most of them are in and around the same. They have some templates for different industries, but it's all essentially all the same. It's just the questions are different for the forms, and the stuff on the landing page would be different. But they can position themselves completely differently from web builders. And that's what makes it important, even though essentially they're kind of web builders with less features, and they're more expensive. Yes, they solve one problem. Exactly. They solve one specific problem and they market for that one specific problem, and they can charge more because of it. and have to give less features. So like that's a very important thing that a lot of people in software dev miss, is that they try too hard to make a general app that tries to fix a lot of stuff. But most of the time, unless you have some kind of extremely unique idea for your app, chances are it's been done already and you're just going to be a shittier version of what already exists, which is why you should focus less about how many features you can give and focus more about how can you give one feature or two features that are insanely good and then market those. I recently tried to start a web app for US registered investment advisors, and I made a sign up page and send like LinkedIn DMs and no response. How many did you send? I think marketing is the best way for me. Then I need to build fast. Selling works for every industry. Yeah. Yeah. Can't argue there. Marketing, everybody should know marketing. Marketing is awesome to know, but obviously you can't know everything about everything. That's why you need experts sometimes. You need somebody who can do one thing extremely well, because you can't know how to do everything extremely well because there's just not enough time. But I think that most people should at least know surface level marketing. Most aren't even special. It's really UI and it's all cookie cutter crap. Yeah, true. On chain, I got a package of resources and use digital electronics. All right. Figma solves one problem. I think VO can be so creative for making amazing landing pages, but they haven't marketed it right. Well, because by VO, you mean Google VO, like the AI video generator? Or am I misunderstanding? Yeah, exactly. I need to find a market person trying to do everything too much. Yeah. Look, I wouldn't say you should trust me because I don't have results yet. But you know, they got to come from somewhere. But yeah, no, like you really have to just, people are too worried about spending money on things that make sense to spend money on. Like, would it make sense to pay a guy $500 to just do your marketing right a month? Or like, think about it like this. Where I'm from, minimum wage is like 80 euro a day. So in a week, you get, that's what, like 8 times 5, 400 euro a week. So if you can find a marketing guy that could take 400 a month, and like how long do you think it would take you in hours to learn as much information as that guy knows to be able to do your marketing yourself? Because I can tell you, you're going to spend a lot more time than the 400 euro would cost you. Vietnam is super cheap. Average salary is 200, 400 a month here. Yeah. So in that case, it's like, imagine how much money you are saving by outsourcing the thing, because otherwise it would take you months to years to learn that kind of information yourself. Outsourcing is not a bad thing. Obviously, it's bad if you're broke as fuck, you want to do everything yourself, then it makes sense. But in general, I think people are too worried about outsourcing. How was Vietnam anyway? I have a friend from there. Well, had a friend. Broke now, yeah. I know the feeling. I'm about to be broke, so if this ad campaign doesn't go well, I'm cooked. I will not be able to afford rent. I have about 40 days left-ish before I run out of money. So I'm stressing. It's good in Ho Chi Minh. It's cheap to live here. Where did you say you came from? Let's scroll back up. Out of the States. How come you went to Vietnam? What's it like there? Have you learned Vietnamese? Or know any of it at least? Just curious. Why is this? How does this work? It's probably when I book in. Is that how that works? I have no idea. Only show the first slot. No limit booking frequency, limit booking duration. Booker active booking limit. In the future. Think we could sell a 2D platformer games about different YouTubers. Cook up a plot in 3 hours. What YouTubers would you use? Digital sales are a money multiplier. Yes, agreed. Vietnamese language is hard for Westerners. It's a tonal language. The women are great. Have a Viet woman taking her back to America. Oh, just don't let her ruin your life. Yeah, no, I really like Asian women as well in general. Like the ones that I've met at least. Obviously, I don't know everybody, but it seems like the West is really the quality of the women in the West has gone down drastically. Like I'm very traditional. I like, you know, virgin women who were raised to be wives, who want to have a lot of children. I messaged like 2 RAI officers, but all of them I saw were like bold, so I lost hope. Did you just say you sent to 2 people and are complaining about getting no responses? You're not, are you serious? Are you serious? Tell me. Don't tell me you're serious. Da Nang is beautiful. Is that a place? Probably. I want to see. Check Google Maps. Wow, that does look very nice. Wow. Yeah, beautiful mountain range. Queso is a massive fan base. Yeah, I know Queso. Skinny doesn't cuss and is family friendly. It's also fat. I like Queso. He's funny. I haven't watched a lot of his stuff, but I saw a lot of the memes when he was like gaining popularity. Thought they were quite funny. Bro got the mail order wife. Yeah. You gotta focus, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, I am focused. This is more of like an update stream, like the last few days. I really don't have that much left to do. It's just like this calendar stuff, which I'm trying to do here, but it's not really working. You still remember me? I'll be honest, I don't remember the name Dania. Sorry. This is the first time I've said that I don't remember somebody. Unless you changed your profile picture or name, because in that case it's not my fault. I'm jealous if he's got a woman that'll make him grilled cheese. That's like the bare minimum, bro. I don't understand the relationships that people have nowadays. Like, I can tell my girlfriend to do anything and she will do it. I was like, make me food. And she'll be like, okay. And just go work. So, hey, don't go here. Okay. Go here, do this. Okay. That's how it should be. That's how I like it. And she's happy. We have a great relationship. I thought it was enough to test. Brother, you should be sending 100 messages a day to new people. 100 new people a day. And do that for a month. And if you still get no replies, then you have a problem. You can live like a king on 1K a month, but miss the States. What do you miss about it? What's good about America? Nobody's ever really given me any convincing argument for why it's good to live there. Maybe it's better in some of the, like, less popular states. Case of 2D video game platformer starts with him walking out of a Waffle House, and that's how the adventure begins. I wonder if there's some kind of thing that you could do with, like, the controller. How you have to, like, push it really hard and he walks really slow or something. I don't know. The big bad guy is also Queso, but dressed up as a shotgun, but just larger. There's a lot of stuff you could do with the fat jokes in a game like that. I really, like, trying to think of some. Usually I'm quite good at coming up with stuff like this, but I'm really struggling right now. You know what I just thought of in my head that I thought was quite funny? Imagine, I don't know if you've seen those things in like video games sometimes. I'm thinking of it in like the 2D sense where there's some kind of catapult. So you could put him in a catapult, and then when you like cut the rope to release the catapult, it just like fucking snaps in half and the catapult doesn't budge. I just imagine that in my head. I don't know what kind of video game that would make sense for, but it was a funny image. She does everything quickly and her family love me, great compared to Western women. That's just how women should be. Like, I don't understand what the issue is nowadays. The Western world really got fucked. And to be fair, like, you can't even blame the women, because the reason this is happening is because of the men. The men allowed, like, you have to realize the men allowed feminism. That's what started all of it. The men allowed women to work. The men allowed women to stop dressing modestly. Like, the men allowed all of this stuff. It's their fault. And then now the women are the way that they are, and then the men pay for their OnlyFans accounts and stuff like that. They don't go outside. They don't socialize. Like, what the fuck do you expect? But it is the fault of both. I never blame just one. The men nowadays are fucking pathetic losers. And the women nowadays are just stupid whores. Like, that's just how it is. At least in the West. Eastern Europe and Asia seem to be doing okay for now. Can't even find a woman that'll clean her teeth. That's brutal. His basic ability is to Kirby and suck up enemies and digest them. You could just fuck making the game. Just make a Kirby mod where you just replace the sprite with queso. Game is just full of references to other games. So kind of like AVGN video game. And if you had a family, OnlyFans would get you banished from the family, disgrace the family. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. I want to bring that back. We're becoming illiterate. We're becoming literate, Andrew Tate. I have said that, but I'm all for it. We are becoming literate, Andrew Tate. I have said that. Can you rephrase? I don't know what that means. But I really love women, but only the good ones. I sent it all in Discord, but it's a huge wall of text. Okay, I'll check it out later. I'm probably not going to read it now if you're saying it's a huge wall of text. Let me take a quick look. Holy shit. Yeah, it is. Well, it's not as long as I thought. That's fine. I'll take a look at it later. I gotta go dentist. Good stream. Gotta drive. All right. No problem. Good luck at the dentist. Don't let them rip your teeth out. Like an educated version of Tate. Are you saying Tate is uneducated? He's extremely articulate. He's very well spoken. Back to work. Have a good one. All right. See ya. Thanks for joining. Everybody's fucking leaving. Might as well leave as well. I've never had a cavity yet. Nice. Good job. Happy for you. I had a few as a kid because I used to eat a lot of fucking chocolate. But I haven't had any in quite a while. Anyway, you know what? I'm probably going to leave it a day too. Call it a day, I mean. Because I have some stuff I need to finish still. I know the streams recently have been fairly short, but... and we haven't really done anything. But that's just because I've been like focusing a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish launch, and then we'll have some more stuff to talk about tomorrow. There's some stuff you can skip over, trying to get a bold underline text to actual scenarios under the organization of hierarchy. Okay, no problem. I'll take a look at it later. I'm not sure if I'll get to it like today or anything. I'll get to it at some point though. Anyway, thanks everybody so much for watching. Happy to have you all here. Nice discussions. We will have some data in tomorrow, hopefully. And otherwise, hope everybody has a nice day. I stream at 3 p.m. CEST every day. Might change that in the next couple of weeks. Not sure. Depends on how the sales calls go. Maybe I will need some more space. But yeah, that's about it. Good luck, man. Gotta go. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's fine. Take it easy. Yeah, you too. Hope everyone has a nice day. Thanks for joining.